Hello and welcome to Mr. Barton's Web Whizz video number 25, where once again I take you on a very quick tour through some of my favourite mathematical websites. Now I am a massive fan of data and statistics, and as I've mentioned more than a couple of times I think on this series of videos, it absolutely does my head in that students, and some teachers in fact, don't love data and statistics as much as I do, and that's why I am a huge fan of websites like Wolfram and Guardian Data Blog and Gapminder World, because those kind of websites can really help bring statistics to life, making them interesting and engaging to students. And the website that I'm featuring on this week's video can certainly do that as well, and it is called My Life in Numbers. So if you give that a Google, now the absolute tragedy is for some reason this isn't number 1 on the Google search page, but I'm sure that'll change soon. There it is there at number 4, mylifeinnumbers.co.uk. Now those of you who visited my own website, mrbartonmaths.com, may have spotted that on the bottom of my homepage I have something fairly similar to this, where it's real life statistics ticking over, but compared to this mine looks a bit pathetic, to be honest with you, because this is far more interesting and far more wide ranging. So straight off, if we look at the homepage there, the thing that caught my eye immediately is this, and this is not because I'm a massive fan of his, but heartbeats since Justin Bieber was born. There you go, that's how many heartbeats Justin Bieber's had, and look how it's increasing there. Spam emails sent since the start of 2012, flipping out what kind of numbers that were, in the billions, maybe in the trillions there for that one. London Tube passengers. And this is what this website's all about. It gives you interesting statistics that are changing in real time. So if we delve a little bit more deeper into this, so if we click on the live events page, you get absolutely loads going on. Now these are all things that have happened since the start of 2012. So which ones catch your eye there? And maybe the amount of seconds that have ticked by, maybe the amount of breaths that the average person has had from their body. I like this one, David Beckham's earnings in dollars, slightly more than mine there, and look how that's ticking over. You've got births, 28 million, deaths 11 million, and so on. And what's also lovely about this site is you can do custom events. So if you click there, it defaults to be since the start of the day, but you can add since the start of since your birthday, if you know what time you were born, since you met that special person in your life, since you got a new job, or you can even count down to things if you want as well. So absolutely fantastic. But as I always try and do on these videos, I'm interested in making the most out of this as a classroom resource. How can it engage the students? How can you get practical maths out of it? And I think there's massive potential here. I mean, for a start, you could just pop this up at the end of a lesson and just get students to comment on it or just look at it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I think there's far more potential there with this. So an activity I've tried with my students goes a little bit like this. I show them this at the start of the lesson, and I get them in groups of maybe 2 or 3, and I say, okay, what's going to happen is in a minute or so I'm going to take this off the screen, and then half an hour later I'm going to put it back on the screen, and I want to know, when I put it back on the screen, what's this number going to be? How many YouTube videos will have been watched? How much money will David Beckham have earned? How many breaths will we have had? How many lightning strikes will there have been? How many spam emails will there have been sent? And don't give students any more information than that. And then it's up to them to devise a strategy for this. Now, they may decide that they want to time, maybe make a note of the starting number for what David Beckham's earnings are, see what it's like a minute later, and then use that to predict what it's going to be like an hour later, and then 30 minutes later. And then is it going to be easier, or is it going to be harder when you've got bigger numbers like this? And then you can take that a little bit further. I mean, once you've seen who's won, who's the closest after 30 minutes, and perhaps worked out percentages, how far off people are, set your students a homework task. Okay, we're going to revisit this page in exactly a week's time. Who's going to be the closest there? Why is that going to present a few more difficulties? Will the errors be bigger? Will they be smaller? Will the percentage errors be bigger? Will the percentage errors be smaller? And so on. And there's absolutely loads of maths hidden away in that. And then I think as well, you could do that with kind of Key Stage 3 students, Key Stage 4 students, but then with sixth form students, get them trying to create a model. Are all these linear relationships? Are some of them exponential? Are some of them logarithmic? There's loads of stuff going on. And modelling is such an important area of maths, the ability to predict and have accurate predictions. And it's practical maths as well, and it's not often you stumble upon a resource that's both practical, engaging, relevant, and got loads of excellent maths tucked away in there. So not only is this an amazing website, I think it's got massive potential to be a really useful, hands-on, engaging classroom tool. So there it is, mylifeinnumbers.co.uk. If you are a fan of the Apple iPhone and the iPad, there is an amazing app that you can download for it, which is completely free as well, which gives you all this data on the move. And I'd strongly advise you sign up to follow them on Twitter as well, because you get loads of facts, not just about Justin Bieber, but about everybody, several times a day. So it's a brilliant website, and I will be back with a fresh Web Whizz video next week. Bye for now.